What have I learned after 100 episodes? Well, Elevation's been going on for 13 years. So one thing I guess I've taken away from this entire experience is that I should be proud of myself. And I know that's like a really kind of a weird answer. What have I learned? But I've been committed to this for 13 years. That's a long time to be committed to something. And I am proud of myself that I'm still doing it. I'm proud of myself that I even started to do it. You know, I've really like committed to something here, and you know, it's had its ups and downs over the years, but I find that at the end of the day, coming back to putting an episode of Elevation together makes me happy. It fulfills me. So, what have I learned after 100 episodes? I'm not done. I've got a lot more left to tell in my story, and I'm excited to show you guys what's next. 100, 200 more episodes? I don't know. I'm not quitting. I'm not going anywhere. So, what have I learned? I learned that I love it and that I'm going to continue following my dreams. What moment made me realize the podcast was special? I mean, I don't really know if there's any one moment that this like kind of happened. The mix was actually named completely different back in the day when I was first starting out DJing. It was called Rage Mode. yeah, Rage Mode. A lot of electro, a lot of EDM. You know, the boom was happening. Started getting to DJing. And then, you know, some years later after I started it, I felt like my interests were changing. My direction was changing. You know, I started my major production avenue was trance at the time. So, you know, I still loved progressive. I loved melodic, deep melodic, emotion-filled music. And I remember trying to come up with a new name for it. And I was just like, I like to have people get elevated, you know, when I'm DJing, when I'm playing, tell the story. So coming up with the name Elevation just really stuck with me. You know, I've loved it ever since I've changed the name. And I really feel like it really takes in everything that I like to do with my own music as well as my mixes. It's not always about bangers. It's about telling the story. It's about putting people on a sonic journey, you know, making people want to close their eyes and listen to the music and really feel what's going on. So, yeah, I'd say that moment 13 years ago when I changed the name to Elevation, it just stuck and I loved it ever since. And that's what it's going to be. What kept me going when things got tough? Man, that's an easy answer. The fans, my friends, the community. Not to get like deep and dark, you know, COVID happened. I was working in the unit. There were a couple years where I lapsed on mixes, on making music. I really lost my way. But, you know, been lucky enough to travel here and there for a couple music conferences, and you know, I'll never forget the times when you just run into someone you don't know saying like, oh, hey, like, you're Jeff, like, you know, I love this, I love your track, or, you know, congrats on your latest mix episode, and, you know, things like that. They really just like empower you, you know, whether it's just like one random person, whether it's 10,000 people. I mean, just hearing someone else just appreciate what you're doing and take interest in what you're doing. It means the world to, you know, us creatives. So, yeah, thank you guys for keeping me at this. You know, you're the reason I'm still here doing it. So, yeah, whenever I get unmotivated or I have lapses, I like to think about you guys, and I know you guys would be telling me to keep pushing forward. So, I think that's the best answer I got. If I go back to episode 1, what advice would I give myself? Well, knowing what I know now, maybe don't be so hard on yourself and be yourself. Um, in the past uh, 10, 15 years, I think I've gone through different phases, just like a lot of other producers do, where they're like, oh, I need to be making this, or I need to be following this trend or that trend, and I need to be working for this label or writing for that label. And honestly, like, it's all just noise and pollution, all of that. I think over all these years, it's been learning how to whittle away at that noise and just ignore it, because at the end of the day, like, being yourself, being true to yourself, whatever phase you are in of music, is the most important thing. Episode one started with a lot of EDM bangers, electro, all that, Alesso, Swedish South Mafia stuff. I'm such a different person, artist, musician, as I was back then. So I don't know how much I would change, because here I am now and I'm happy doing what I want. Would it have been nicer to have me having these realizations maybe 10 years ago? Sure. Why not? But I think there's something to say about the journey of going through it and really figuring it all out. Having all the answers maybe when I was younger would have been great, but I like the idea that I'm here where I am now because of all the trials and tests that I went through previously. Where am I taking Elevation from here? Great question. Happy to announce that after episode 100, every single Elevation episode will be live recorded from my studio here in Chicago. So something to really look forward to, guys. I'm looking forward to it as well. I think, I did Ableton mixes now for a while, and I think it almost took fun away from me. I love to DJ. I happen to think that I have a very unique way of telling stories with music, and I don't do it enough. A lot of factors that kind of like go into that, right? But I think taking back a lot of that control that I gave away to others to let me DJ is key. So I'm taking it back. I'm going to be playing music on a regular basis again, and not only do I think it's going to benefit my own mental health, but I think it's going to benefit my brand. I think it's going to benefit you guys as well. I don't think there are enough people out there that have seen me play music, so I'm looking forward to the future and kind of what this whole new image and brand that I'm going to be pushing out does, and we'll see. But I'm excited, so look forward to future episodes on YouTube, and yeah, guys, it's gonna be great. Well, guys, episode 100 is coming out soon. I am super stoked for you guys to hear it and take a listen. I really feel like it, encapsulates everything I'm about. All my song choices. I have some new, some old, some ideas. I really just want you guys to enjoy it, and I hope you do. I put a lot of thought into it, so get excited for it. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. And I guess on my final note, I will say that don't ever, ever give up on yourself. You can do it. You will do it. You are good enough. Take care, guys.